Storyteller and I actually, we go way back. We met working on a show together, hosting a show together called Sunny Side Up for Sprout. Which involved taking the daily risk of doing live unscripted television with a chicken puppet. So just like a lot of knowings and learnings and feelings in your body. It was just the best time. But right now she's known a little bit more for her work as Meekah, Blippi's best friend. She is an actor, writer, comedian, hilarious person, Kaitlin Becker.
Hi. It's been a long time since I've talked not in a character, so I'm just gonna be Kaitlin Becker today. This is good. Might be some words coming out of this mouth that are not for the children, so. Anyway, just to give you some background, I was born in Indiana, raised in northern Kentucky. I'm biracial. My biological father is African American and my mother is white. And I didn't have a relationship with my biological father or that side of the family. My mother remarried when I was 6 to a white man, and they had 3 white babies. So I got 3 white siblings, cool. So I was the only black girl in most parts of my life, like in school, church, my own family. And my first memory of seeing a black person on television or someone that looked like me was when I was 4 years old watching Sesame Street. Yeah, I was really attracted to that show. One, because I liked that they lived in a cool city and that the humans on that show looked like me. A lot of them looked just like me. And I have a super vivid memory of standing so close to the TV that I could feel the static fuzz on my nose. And my grandma saying get back, scoot back. I was trying to scoot back, but I was just I gotta get in there. I wanted to be in that world so bad. And that really was the start of me itching to live in a city on theme. and be in an environment with a lot of diversity where I could blend in and not stand out so much. And that didn't happen for 18 years because I stayed in Villa Hills, Kentucky, which is real white, even to this day. So let's jump ahead to high school where I was living the dream of performing in all of my high school musicals and telling everyone one day I'm gonna move to New York City. And I'm gonna be an actor and I'm gonna work in hole-in-the-wall theaters and be really grungy and artsy. And they were just okay, girl, cool. And the drama club at my school, we used to go to Cincinnati to see the national tours come through. And the first time I saw someone that looked like me on stage was Rent. Ever heard of it? And I was obsessed with Mimi because the girl who played Mimi in that production looked just like me. And I was didn't even know that I could play a lead role in a Broadway show. Representation matters. I was I look just like her. And so, yeah, thank you. Yeah. Well, if you like that, there's more. So I just got really obsessed with the idea of living in New York, but starving artists. I wanted to hang out on fire escapes and smoke cigarettes and I would picture screaming at the people down the street and then I picture being inside my apartment with the broom hitting the ceiling be quiet, Linda, I'm studying my lines. I just wanted to suffer, I guess, and have a terrible life and I was just really into the smoking bit on the fire escape. So anyway, I could not move to New York City right away. I had to further my acting career. So I stayed in Kentucky and went to Northern Kentucky University, got my BFA in musical theater. And my parents did not have the money to help me at all in college. I got zero financial support from them. And so I was always looking for ways to make money while I was in college. And so I did a lot of babysitting. And then I got a job at the Goddard School, being assistant to all of the preschool teachers. So I just floated around and helped the teachers. And I was really involved in their summer camp program. And for the holidays, I wrote an original musical with original music for the kids. And I just loved working at the Goddard School and connecting with those kids. And I worked there my entire long 5 years at college. And I saved almost $5,000. And I was well, I'm ready to go to New York City. So I did it. I left my little small white town of Kentucky and I moved to New York City thinking I can't believe I'm moving to New York so rich. I'm already starting off so great. Just really clueless. So that's the first risk. And the first week I lived there, I walked down the street to the bodega and I bought a backstage newspaper and a pack of cigarettes. I'm not pushing smoking, by the way. Like, it's really bad. Like, don't smoke. I don't smoke anymore, but I was like really into it. And so I didn't have a smartphone because it was 2007. I didn't even have a computer. I used to like go to the internet cafe to check my email. So I get the newspaper and I'm sitting on the curb, like smoking my cigarette, like, look at me. I'm an artist. And I'm like circling auditions in the backstage newspaper and I see an audition for a musical called A Kid's Life. So I go to the audition and I book it week 1 of New York. So I was like, I'm loaded with money. I'm a smoker. And I booked my first show and it was 4 kids. It was 4 kids. So I'm like with y'all and kind of like the kid stuff. Like I was like, this is not the grungy artistic route I was planning to take. But it was a show for kids and I secretly loved it. But on the outside I was like, yeah, I'm just like doing this like little opera. It's for kids. Like, don't come. Like, but I secretly like really loved it. It was so fun. But for some reason I was being weird and like embarrassed about it. So I did a ton of musical theater for years and then I decided to refocus my career to TV film. And one day I get an email from a casting director and in the subject line it says, do you want to work with a chicken? And I went to delete it like, and then I was like, wait a second. Because my nephew at the time was obsessed with the Sunny Side Up show. Thanks for giving away my whole story, man. I'm just kidding. I was kidding. So I was like, oh, he's obsessed with the Sunny Side Up show. And I don't need to describe it because Carly kind of did. But the main character on the show was a puppet, a chicken puppet named Chica. And I was like, I bet that's the show. So then I'm like, let me look at this email. Let me see what they're up to. And they said they were looking for a host. And there were really like specific things they were looking for. They were looking for experience with kids, specifically preschool, Goddard School. It was like improv, music background, acting background, like every single thing. I was like, have I been training my whole life to be a host on the Sunny Side Up show? Like, oh my God. Then I was like, you know what? Let me just make a video and see what happens. So I make a video, I send it to the casting director. They like it, they call me back. They say, hey, if you get this job, you have to move to Philadelphia. And I was like, but New York or bust, you know, like New York. But the show filmed live out of Philadelphia, so there's no way around it. You have to live in Philly to be a host on the Sunny Side Up show. So I was like, I don't really want to live in Philly. I don't know Philly. I don't know anyone there. I'm a New Yorker, damn it. Like, New York or bust. And then I just kind of got out of my own way because all the callbacks, they just felt really good. And I was like, I'm good at this. I should do this. Like, all right, the hell with it. So I moved to Philadelphia. And of course, I loved it. I loved the show. Like, one weekend, in love with everything. Loved the chicken. Then a few months into my contract, the announcement was made that the show was moving to New York City. And so we're also filming out of 30 Rock Studios. So I was like, oh, okay, I'm living in New York, I'm working in New York, I'm acting, and I'm doing a show out of 30 Rock Studios. And I was like, this is amazing. And then, you know, it's The Biz. So 2017 show canceled, done. No Sunny Side Up, no Sprout Network. Yeah, it's fine. So I have a baby and I am doing voiceover stuff for kids animation. I was like, yeah, this feels good. Being behind the camera, I don't think I want to do like kid host stuff anymore. I was like, yeah, this is feeling good. Then COVID happens, beginning of the pandemic. It's like early enough where we don't know what's going on. We don't know what kind of mask to wear. And I get an email from Moonbug Productions, who I've never heard of before. And they said, hey, some people who know you from Sunny Side Up are recommending you for this character that we're creating. Can we meet? And I was like, man, kid stuff, like, like New York, you know, I don't know what's my problem. But they were just like, can we please just meet with you? So I meet with them just over Zoom, COVID, and they're like, I don't know if you know about Blippi. And I was like, never heard of him. And truly never, because my son at the time, like, he didn't watch YouTube. I really had never heard of Blippi, and they're like, what? Well, we want a best friend for him, and you were recommended because of Sunny Side Up. And I was like, who told you about Sunny Side Up? And then, I was like, I don't know if I want to do this. And I was like, I got to sleep on it. So then I like masked up and I went to Target because I was potty training my son Everett at the time. And I know nothing about Blippi, but I go into Target and there's Blippi underwear. So I was buying like big kid underwear for my son, and I was like, are you kidding me? This character is like on underwear? So I bought it and I was like, this is my sign. I'm gonna go to LA and meet with these people and body train Everett later. So I go to LA, I meet with them, we're like testing out this character that wasn't Meekah at the time, and I was like, cool, I like these people, I like this character, fine, I'll do kid stuff again, twist my arm. So then a couple months later they said, we want to bring you to LA. It's going to be 10 to 12 weeks. You have to live in Los Angeles. We're going to film Blippi's Treehouse with Amazon Kids. And I was like, well, first of all, I keep telling you, like, New York, New York, New York, New York, New York. It's my dream, my dream, my dream, my dream. And they're like, okay, relax on the New York vibes. Do you want to do the show? And I said, okay, yes. So I left my son for 10 weeks to do Blippi's Treehouse. And now this character, Meekah, she now has her own YouTube channel and a spinoff series on Netflix. And the doll was announced a few days ago. There's a Meekah doll. Thank you. But honestly, all that kind of stuff kind of like weirds me out. I don't get excited over those things. The like number one coolest thing and the reason I do what I do is I now get regular messages from parents and kids who look like me and pictures and videos of kids literally like this. And they're seeing themselves in the Meekah character. And people are writing saying, my kid says you're their best friend. My kid says you look just like them. When's the Meekah doll coming out? Because she looks just like my daughter. And like, it's just, not me giving myself the chills. But it's just so crazy. And I just want to say, like, I'm so glad that I auditioned to work with that damn chicken, because like, if I would not have done that, I probably would not be playing Meekah, and I probably would be reaching out to these little brown boys and girls at home. And so life is crazy. Take the risk, because if you don't, you could miss out on so much, So thank you for your time.